Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Space in Between.
Ladies Hill again.
We got continue the season number 2. I know we've been going for a while. We took a little break.
Boy, it's been,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
Boy's been traveling this shit. You know what I mean? My boy over here got story. He international. You feel me? He took space in between.
Don't address me if you're not gonna address me with.
Go ahead.
Well, Blenders.
Come
address you not. International.
Come on,
international.
Come on now. Fact check that. You feel me? My boy, international now. How was we doing? I think it was just a heavy week for us. The week before that. Yeah. So I know it's been a minute since we dropped some content. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But we are back. You know, continue the second season. We might got some exclusive. You know, I ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna keep it peak. But yeah, you know,
keep it baby, as they say out Dubai. Keep it up, baby.
There's a space in between. You got your boy Anthony, aka Dub. I was my co-host.
You got your boy Donovan, aka Dono.
You know what I mean? Today, we're gonna hop into it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No bushing around about it, but today's topic is, what is love?
Get on.
You know what I mean? In a sense, like, it could be relationship-wise.
It's a concept of love.
You know what I mean? In a friendship, romantically, you know what I mean? Bonds, whatever type of love that you feel like love is. What is it?
I think I got a whole poem written about this.
A poem?
I think I got a poem.
Oh, you going in your bag for that?
I think it's a poem. Either it's a poem or it's just like a little like soliloquy, like like a little blip I had written about it. It feels poetic. That's what I know. I called it.
He can't wait for this time.
I got poem.
No, I brought it up. Might as well.
I just thought I was gonna tell these niggas how to put a poem. I don't know if it's a. Damn. It's we gonna keep talking about poems for it. Basically, I called it the Poetic Calypso. And the way I'm looking at love is love is one of those very fundamental components of life that you cannot have. You cannot have life if you do not have love, and you cannot have a positive life if you do not have love. I'm not thinking of it in the manner of like the action. I love you. I love this person here. I like the feeling. I love this person there, and we'll do it. Like people see it like that. I'm saying love is kind of like the fuel. See, how did I phrase this, bro? It's like the fuel. I'm not gonna find it. It's basically the fuel of the life that we desire to live. That you don't pursue anything, you don't admire anything, and most of your ideal components of your life are constructed around love. That if you want to become a famous actor or a famous writer or something like that, either you're in love with the idea of becoming that, you're in love with the art of acting or singing, or you're in love with the money that's going to come with it. You're in love with the idea of the people praising you and praising your name around it. If you really want to become a better person, you're in love with that idea of becoming a better person and everything like that. Love fuels so many things that we have in our life, and that you can't have passion if you don't have love.
That's a fact.
You can't have you can't have heartbreak if you don't have love. You can't have wonderful moments of memories and connections, deep connections, if you don't have love. Love just makes so many things possible, and that goes for both ways, good things and bad things, which is why I call it fuel. I don't think it in itself has many inherent qualities to it itself. That's just, you know what I'm saying. That's what I like to take off. I'm pick for it while you keep going.
Piggybacking off that, I also recently developed some stuff. Believe, and kind of in the sense of what he's saying, how love is a fuel. Like in a sense that us as humans today generally like put love on the tallest of pedestals. You know what I mean? So like we always be like, if we ain't this close or this tight, if I'm not telling you this, then obviously I don't love you. You know what I mean? But in a sense, like he's saying, love is a fuel for everything. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be talking to them or even giving them a glimpse of your life if it wasn't a little love there. You know what I mean? But us as human beings, we generalize love as this big thing and this big pedestal. Now, mind you, I am one of those people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I am one of those people. You feel me? It's people in my life that is real hard for me to tell them that I love them. You feel me? Like, I can know you for so long and you probably never would have heard it come out my mouth yet. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to say it with my family sometimes. I mean, that's a whole story. But you know what I mean? We put love on this big pedestal. Like, people need to earn it. Like, you need to strive. You need to do something for me to be able to say the words like this. Like, we make it seem like saying I love you as a reward. You know what I mean? Like,
people is posing love as the goal rather than what gets you to the goal. People are saying that love, you get there, so you do all these things, and then finally you feel love. No, that's not the point. Love is what you use as fuel through you to keep you pushing, to keep you driving, until you get to whatever that goal is. And we don't really know. The goals vary from different people. So, it's just, that is the, love is more of the vehicle than the destination.
Ooh, talk heavy. Hey, tell the boys one more time on the mic.
Love is the vehicle, not the destination.
Say, man.
Put that in caption, my nigga.
You heard it here first. I'm telling you.
I ain't gonna lie. I just looked at I found it, and I looked at what I was writing. This shit deep as hell.
You feel like, giving a little.
You
ain't gotta get everything.
No, I can lay it down.
Let's splash there.
I can lay it down. I'm gonna cut out a couple of pieces, the directly personal. I'm gonna give y'all more of the conceptual shit as I was talking about it. So,
talk your shit.
The Plight of Calypso. Such a story pulls on the heartstrings more intensely than any I can readily imagine. Love is a truly slippery concept. It can appear fiery in the form of lust, only to have its true nature exposed. It can subtly set in circumstances unbeknownst to its holder, and it can lead many to ruin. However, above all, it is a component of our nature. We have been created to love, to share moments with others, to care and to connect. This world portrays this sense, this innate longing, in such crude manners. It blasphemes against its true essence with notions of lust, infidelity, and deceit. As the time stream flows, man becomes more unfamiliar with love. As with Christ, it is only something that can be experienced in its entirety through the methods of pure authenticity. Our lives are structured to lead us towards one, or perhaps many, who will tantalize us with a sense of infatuation. Of their sincerity, we are only to find out. I speak of this as Calypso has been cursed with the plight of meeting heroes on her solitary island, of whom must eventually leave her, repeatedly dangling the joys of love in front of her, only to snatch them away once they become close enough to embrace. That was going to get into, my parts of it. For sure. Let me just read through, I think the rest of it is definitely, that is the piece about it though. It's sharing that love itself is so fundamental to being human that to take this religiously, God himself said that God is love. That is to be away from love is to be away from him. That is literally a very fundamental core foundation of who we are. And the way it's just taken, manipulated, in the way that it is used for people's advantage. It's used for people's it's just corrupted nowadays. Like I said, lust and infidelity and deceit.
Definitely.
All these different avenues, the way people apply love, and that's not what love is. To the point where the word is trivialized, but people don't really know what that shit means. People thought I love you all the time, and they don't mean it. And you get in a fucked up situation when you don't mean it, but you say to somebody who knows what that word love means, and you tell them I love you, and they're like, are you sure? And you're like, absolutely. And then now you stuck, or now you fucked, because you don't understand the weight that comes behind this concept. You don't know what it means. I personally don't even know exactly what it would mean if I were to say I love you. It looks different for everybody. Like I said, love is a fuel, and there's different cars and they get different types of fuel. So everybody has it in their experience. I've been waiting for this topic. I've been waiting for this topic.
You talking your shit.
Everybody has different types of love. People have different love languages. People have different love languages they speak. Other people have different love languages they receive. And it just looks different for each and every person. So me speaking on this whole plight of Calypso and all these dangers and all these ways that love has kind of been manipulated and corrupted, that's the general way I see it. That's the general way I see people are not understanding how it is a fuel. What that fuel looks like for me, I don't know. Not yet. I'm 21 years old, and I've yet to find somebody romantically that I have applied what I think is actually love for. That is the romantic sense. But there's also, we can take it there too. Applying the concept of love outside of the romantic connotation. Mm-hmm. If I were to tell you, explain to me what love means outside of a relationship, what would you say?
Love outside of a relationship. Man, like anything or friends or
first thing that pops in your head.
First thing that pops in my head.
Love, but you can't say anything about romantics.
When you generally do something for somebody that won't affect you in a good way or a bad way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like some people be like, love is when you sacrifice something for others. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's cool too. It could be that. Like you said, everybody got their own fuel. Mm-hmm. But I honestly believe showing true love is doing something, not knowing how it will affect yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yes, it's gonna be an effect at the end, but while you was doing it straight out of love. Like you wanted to do this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or you wanted to say this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So just like doing it for others, man. I'm a real like do it for others type of nigga. You know what I mean? Yeah. You feel me? So that's how I show my expression of love. You know what I mean? I don't say it, I just do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So outside of a list of romantically, that's what I say with love.
Yeah. Okay. I'm asking that because it's more of like, again, how the word is seen and how you kind of perceive it. It's like the first thing people think of love is romantics. It's like how 100%. I love you and what I want to do for you, and so on and so on and so on. I love my partner. And again, I think more of the message that I've been trying to push is that love transcends that. Love is not just something you feel for somebody when you like them a lot. Love is not like evolved, basically. It's not like part 2 type shit.
You cool. I like you. I think I really, really like like
Oh, I love you. Like,
oh God, that's the stages.
That's
right
the stages.
There. You know what I mean? You hear it all the time. They be like, I like them, but I really, really like him. But I don't love him yet. But I just really like him more than I would like him.
And I'm still trying to figure out if I love him.
You feel me? So yeah, I feel what you're saying with that.
I'm like that. It might be a component of it. It's kind of like we were talking about a little bit earlier, in a different way. It's like saying, butcher this. All squares are rectangles. No. All rectangles are squares, but not all rectangles are.
Take your time. All right. Take your time.
All rectangles are squares, but not all squares are rectangles. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Essentially, all the components of rectangles fit squares, but this fucking geometry is fucking me up. I'm gonna use a different example.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like we were saying, that happiness is a part of positivity. So all happiness is positivity, but positivity is greater than happiness. So not all positivity is happiness. Other things that come with positivity is not just happiness. Like if I was to sit here and, like I said, prevent you from doing something that is like an addiction of yours that we talked about last time, then that would be a positive influence on you. Is that like a happiness? I'm not spreading like, bro, be happy, smile and shit like that. No, it's not a happy thing, but it's a positive thing for you. So positivity is the broader scope, and happiness fits inside of that. So evolved like is a form of love that's in there, but that's in the broad love umbrella that encompasses a lot of other things. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And understanding that there is so much more to love, that loving yourself, that's not romantic. That's also something that that's very few and far in between. And then when it comes to people, especially people our age, is running on E, and it's scarce. And that's another thing that is completely misinterpreted and misunderstood. I don't even want to say misunderstood, it's just not understood. How to do it, what it looks like, and how to go about it. Because people think the love thing is so frequently pushed into loving somebody
else. It's just loving yourself is, you grow up and it's not a variable.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's not like people here like take care of yourself, love yourself, but literally you will hear that and you like, I don't even know what that means, or like, I don't know what to do. Like you asked me a few weeks ago, you know what I mean? Always like, not always, but I'll bring up like self-love and all that shit. But then you brought up last week, you was like, what you like doing for fun?
Yeah.
Like when you not with nobody else, what do you do for fun? And I literally sat there and I was like, I don't really even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I put so much towards everybody else, you know what I mean? And I like sharing my experience. I like the feeling of sharing my experience with other people, that it got to a point where I don't like being alone.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like I'm alone, I feel like I'm not doing something right. Mm-hmm. So that would cause me to like, not to like go into like studying self-love or like figure out what that means or what I should do. It runs me away from that category when you need that category to get in that big umbrella that you talking about, to feel good by myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like people talk about the nutrition pyramid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's cool if you're just a carnivore. It's cool if you're just a vegetarian. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when you don't got all the components, you know what I mean, rightfully, the right amount of each one, mm-hmm. you're not whole. Mm-hmm. You only have a part of that pyramid. You know what I mean? Bro. And I feel you when you like under that umbrella. It's a lot of things that go into that umbrella that a lot of people either don't know about, a lot of people know it about it but don't think it's that important, or people just scared to figure out what it actually is.
Because they're trying so hard. It feels so rewarding to get that romantic love, and to be able to feel that and find that it's the way our culture and our media and this life kind of portrays it is that is essentially like our life goal, is to find somebody to love and then love them correctly. And I think that's everything we're supposed to do. And now that just obscures us from every other way that we're supposed to get the other types of love. I don't even want to think of it as an umbrella anymore. I feel like there's a better type of metaphor for the different forms of love, because all of them are necessary. You need different forms of love. I guess again we can use this infinity gauntlet thing, that there's different forms of love that you're going to need to supply yourself with to continue to keep going. Or even like the pyramid, like the nutritional pyramid. You can get the romantic love. That's definitely a thing. Like that's a part of it.
It's a layer.
That's another layer of it, and it might be like the fundamental layer, like down there, like how people think it's a very big one. It's also self-love. Actually, I give self-love that part. Then there's also love. You have to get, like I said, love languages. How exactly you understand expressing that, and love languages is not again just a romantic thing. You have love languages for just like type of people you interact with interpersonally. I found out that as much as I kind of neglected it, my two love languages are physical touch and words of affirmation. And that looks differently for a lot of people. And people tell me how they appreciate me and how this works and that works, and explain to me how they feel, and it feels good to me. I think that's sufficient, along with like physical touch and just being around. That works for me. And then that is kind of how I express myself, through my mouth and through my hands. But other people, that's just may not be how that works for them. Other people, I can say and do a lot of things, and that just will be like in one ear, out the other. You don't really mean that. Trust issues. A bunch of shit on top of that, and I'm like, why the fuck don't you get that I like care about you? I'm obviously expressing it right now. I'm obviously doing everything I can. And they're like, you ain't bought me a goddamn thing. I'm like, what the fuck they gotta do with me caring about you? And their love language is gift giving.
Gift giving.
And this is dealing with these nuances, and that's another form of love, and figuring yourself out. And part of self-love, all types of it, is understanding what love looks like for you.
So with that whole figuring out what love is to you. That's very important. You know what I mean? Because like he said, to him, his is physical touch and words of affirmation. You know what I mean? And me personally, that's not mine, right? You know what I mean? Like I said, my love language is I like doing for others in a sense, not like gift giving, but act of service. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't look for words of affirmation. I don't do the act of service for words of affirmation. I just know that I did something out of love for somebody that I love. You know what I mean? That's all I need. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But since I know that and I voiced that to him and he voiced what his love language is to me, now I know how to better suit with my bro, you know what I mean, when we out here in the world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A lot of people be clashing and a lot of bonds be breaking because either A, the other person don't understand how to love you, or you don't know how to understand how you should be loved, so they not gonna understand how to love you. Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of bonds and a lot of people be breaking apart. You know what I mean? So find out like what's love to you? What's love to you? Like take that time to yourself.
What feels good? Like what are the moments that you truly feel loved? And then evaluate it. What is happening at that moment? Is somebody doing something for you? Is somebody explaining something for you? Are they giving you a nice, big, comforting hug? Are they buying you a gift at that moment? It doesn't have to be in these typical vibes. What is happening? How are you feeling and perceiving this love? And this is a little bit of a side note, just for all the niggas out there. But that's just not gay, bro. Not gay.
For sure.
This love and expressing it and understanding how you see it and how you feel it, even to like your people. It's not gay. It felt really good recently to understand that's how I express and how I feel my love, and that is I've just been expressing so much more so how I feel about people and how I appreciate them. Spend a good time together. A bunch of people I spent time with Dubai out there. After we left, I just hit up a real quick text message. Hey bro, I really appreciate you spending time with me. Like that, you just really made the trip great. I love your energy and everything like that. Looking forward to keep hanging out with you and everything like that. Peace and love. And then it felt really good to express that and come back and like, that really made my day and everything like that. That I felt the love leaving me and felt it coming back into me. Something simple as knowing that that's how I express my love, not through an act of service, not through quality time or something like that. But that's how I do it. And these are two other men. And this is not me saying that I want you to take your clothes off and I want to be with you or something like that. Mm-hmm. This is expressing my love to you as another human being. There's a lot of things you can do with other human beings that these gay or these weird attachments don't have to be a part of. This is just growing more comfortable in yourself and what feels good, and not trying to feel shame for things that feel good. That if another man tells you that he appreciates you for being around and always being on his side, being a shoulder to lean on, that should not be an uncomfortable thing to hear.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Let's say that for the men out there that's listening, it's okay to say it. You know what I mean? It's okay to receive it. You know what I mean? I tell myself all the time, I'm still working on it myself. You know what I mean? Because it's hard for me to say it and it's hard for me to take it. Mm-hmm. Like I am one of those, like if you tell me like you love me, I'm like, watch out. But I don't really mean like watch out. Like me saying that and I'll be smirking. Me saying that and I'll be smirking, you know what I mean? I'll be like, watch out. I really be like, I appreciate it. That's really what it means behind the curtains. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It's time to pull back the curtains.
It's time to pull back the curtains. You know what I mean?
It's time to pull back the curtains.
It's time to pull back. We're gonna work on that.
And it's a long process. But
it don't happen overnight. You know what I mean?
It doesn't. And as I began to see that how good it felt to people I was saying, I want you to read between the lines. I want you to understand me. I want you to understand me and everything. And in the meantime, like I know Anthony. I know how he is, and I know when I say these things, that's what he means by that. But don't get complacent in just having people read between the lines and then dealing with your lack of growth. I'm trying to say you're not growing just dealing with it, being content with where you are at that point. I'm gonna notice how he does these things right now, but I'm still pushing to get to grow and get outside of that comfort zone more and more, and then to say something back. Or to say, thank you, I appreciate you too, something little. Or even then initiating himself and expressing himself how he feels about other people and shit like that.
Bro, I promise you, for the dudes that like me out there, you know what I mean, that don't say it and don't like receiving it, just like he said, it gets you to a point to saying thank you. I promise you, bro, the day that the people that usually tell you I love you and you be like, appreciate it, I promise you that's going to change their life. Not change their life, but it's going to rock their world. You feel me? Because that's not something you usually say. Yeah. And they like, oh, they might as well just want a Grammy. You know what I mean? They probably just felt like you say appreciate it. You say appreciate it or thank you is the same way of saying like I love you too. To them. You know what I mean?
Step by step.
Just take that time to appreciate those around you because you don't know when is your time, when is their time. You know what I mean? That's why we got to figure out these love languages for each other. Take these steps. You know what I mean? Because even though you might not say it, you can express it in the way that they like receiving it. You know what I mean? Like, it's words of affirmation. Anytime he do something crazy, anytime he do something great, you know what I mean? Which is you know, kind of often, it's getting kind of tiring. You know what I mean? So I tell him, I'm like, man, that good shit. You know what I mean? You doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 boom. Or like, when he
feels warm to me.
Or when he feel like some days he be down and he be like, man, I don't know if I want to go to grad school. And I'll be like, man, nigga, you is wildin'. You is tripping. That is me basically like showing my love, like, nigga, you know what I mean? That's my words of affirmation. It might, the way I say it might not sound like it, but since he known me long enough, he know exactly what I mean by it. You know what I mean? And that all comes with finding your love language, understanding yourself so others can understand you, so y'all bonds could be tighter, so no matter what, you feel me, they understand you. And I know it be times where he be looking for words of affirmation and I don't give it to him. You know what I mean? I actually be pissing him off sometimes. You know what I mean? He be looking for certain words when we be talking about a certain topic and I completely like botch it. You know what I mean? At first I'm pretty sure he gets upset about it. But then he sit there, he think about it, and he like, he might have meant that, but he really meant that from like a good place. You feel me? Depending on the topic. You know what I'm talking about?
Sometimes he don't. Sometimes that nigga just try to fuck me up. Most of the time he comes from a good place.
But yeah, bro, understand your people around you. Understand yourself. You know what I mean? It all start internally with yourself and your circle. If we could do that little by little, man, you know how crazy the world would change.
Man, let me just real quick. We got to learn how to coexist. And you can't learn how to coexist before you learn how to exist with yourself.
Photo!
That's what I'm saying.
Photo! Let's hit that rewind button. That rewind button. Go back. Go back. Go ahead. Tell them what's
We got to learn how to coexist. But you can't learn how to coexist until you learn how to exist with yourself.
Oh my God.
Because
hey, what's up with you today? You spit, man.
I was in class and I ain't gonna lie to some shit.
Oh, boy.
But that's the thing. To become a group, a cohesive group, we have to be a group of conscious and aware individuals who know how to come together and work and exist with each other. Because you can't explain to somebody about how you like to be loved and how you like to live until you understand that yourself. And that comes from you loving yourself and figuring this out and figuring out this feels good to me. It's kind of like the same way how teachers do best when they know how you need to learn. Some people are visual learners, some people are spatial learners, some people are they're good with patterns, some people are good with being hands-on, and nobody learns the exact same way. There's no one universal way to learn, there's no one universal way to love. And you just yourself need to step back and figure out how that works for you. So then every way in your life, every facet, you can express to your professors, you can express to your partner, you can express to your friends, this is how this works for me, and this is where I am with this right now. If you can bear with me and help me with this, that would be great. I'm looking to continue to grow with it, but I stand here right now. Where do you stand? And that's also another important part of this. Where do you stand? Opening it up to find out just yourself first, then you can figure out how the person across from you works, and that's how you figure out the middle ground.
Well, we appreciate y'all for tuning in another episode of Space in Between. Appreciate everybody round them numbers up. Shout out to the people in the UK that we
whoever
just
y'all are.
Whoever y'all is. We appreciate y'all for following our podcast and tuning in, man. It's your boy Anthony, aka Dub, and I'm with my co-host
Donovan, aka Dono.
And we signing out once again.
Yes, sir.